Hi, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Color Craze, which is a series MK and I do where we use color inspiration throughout the month of October. This is our palette for today, so lots of lime and lots of lavender or periwinkle. I'm also playing along with series 16 of 30 Days of Sketches, which is all double pages. This is the sketch from Cindy Thayer Brown. And I'm going to rotate it one turn clockwise. I'm also playing along with the Iron Crafter Challenge, and the item that we were supposed to use today is either Nuvo Drops Stickles or Pops of Color. Also playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem, where we're supposed to use a stencil, some tearing, and multi-photos. So lots going on in today's layout. Hopefully I can get it all done here. So I am starting out with some Nuvo Drops in this bright green color, which is actually called apple green. I don't know if I've ever seen an apple quite this green, but yeah, it's apple green. And I am doing a double stencil technique. So I'm using that greenish stencil or turquoise stencil that is an old one from Heidi Swapp. And I love that stencil because it's a great sunburst. And then I'm using a Paige Evans, one of her first stencils that she came out with, which is the Scattered Hearts. And I am just putting the Nuvo drops through it, and then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. Now I'm only doing the top half of the stencil because the bottom half is going to have paper on it, which is where I will do my tearing and where my photos will, well, my photos will kind of sit a little left justified of center. So I'm going to let this sit and dry, and then I'm going to go in with some ink from Catherine Pooler. The first color I'm using is called Melon Ice, um, and it looks yellow on the label, but it's this really bright yellowy green, which is just like the Nuvo drops. So I thought that would work really well, kind of giving me a sunburst effect. And I thought about going in with the one called Serenade, which is a purple or a periwinkle color, but I'm going to hold off on using that for right now. I think I'm going to use it just on the purple paper that I have there to back my photos with, rather than put it on my background. I was thinking I was going to use it on the background, but I really liked the way that this green on green looked, and so I'm going to kind of keep it simple with regard to the mixed media in the background. Now, I'm not adding a ton more mixed media, and I know this layout's going to be very bright because of the bright colors that I chose, but they go really well with the photos. Her shirt is kind of a light green color. It's not quite as bright as the colors in my background, but the grass definitely is. So I thought I would use that, these papers, and then in the photo, her white socks almost read as a kind of a purple hue on them, and her fishing pole is actually got purple on it. So I'm going to use the purple, or periwinkle is what the actual palette that we chose said. It said lime and periwinkle. So I probably just a little bit more on the purple side of periwinkle, but I'm okay with that. So I'm liking how it's coming together, and the story behind these photos. This is the oldest of the kids that I watch, and their dad had just bought them fishing poles because he was going to take them fishing on the weekend, and this was a Friday afternoon, and uh, they had minimum days this particular week, and so that he told me to go ahead and have them practice casting in the backyard. So they were just casting, her and her sister were casting into the grass in the backyard, and she's actually really quite good at casting. She just not doesn't throw it super hard, but it goes really far the way that she throws. And it actually went into the neighbor's bushes over the fence. Well, their bushes are actually growing over the fence. And when she reeled it in, she had caught a purple flower, so she was super excited about that. But the they went fishing. They actually went camping just a few hours after this, and then they fished that night and the next day, and then they actually went back to the lake, which this little lake is very close to their house. So they went back to the lake the following day, even though they had finished camping, and they did a little bit more fishing. The girls just had a blast and loved it. So I am documenting that, her practice runs at fishing. So I have taken my green paper. This was actually just out of my scrap bin, and I've torn it using the tearing guides from the Some Assemblage Required shop. I'm also going to be using some wood veneer from the Some Assemblage Required shop. So I will put links down below for the items that I am using. And I'm super excited to be using these items because I don't have a lot of fishing photos myself. First of all, it's not a pastime that I enjoy. My husband doesn't really do it because, and he is also allergic to fish. So even if he caught something, he can't eat it. And so it's not something that we go out and do. We've done it maybe like, I don't know, once or twice when we first knew each other, um, when we first met, and we went houseboating with our families. And so we took the opportunity to try fishing because we were on a houseboats for a week. And so, yeah, that was really probably the only time I've done fishing in, I don't know, since I was a little kid with my dad. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't have the patience for it. I'm not sure. But I was super excited for these photos because I have some of the fishing ephemera or wood veneer from MK's shop, and I really, really wanted to use it. And I've done fishing photos before of the kids pretending they're fishing with like a tree branch at the local little lake at the park and stuff like that. But these are well, these are not actually fishing photos, but I will have some actual fishing photos coming up soon on my channel that I am so thrilled about. So this one is kind of just a little spin on fishing, but I just wanted to really capture how excited she was and her sister was to be able to practice in the backyard and that she caught a purple flower from the neighbor's yard. She actually also got her fishing line stuck in the house gutter, but we were able to get it out and um, nothing with no harm, no foul. She was able to use her pole the next day or that evening. So that's the story for it. I'm also using the distress tool from the Some Assemblage Required shop to distress up these leaves just to give them a little extra uh, texture. The leaves are actually from Chamel's, I don't know if it's from Never Grow Up or it might be from, um, oh my gosh, totally drawing a blank. The school one that was right before that. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments down below. And if I think of it by the end of this video, I will say what it was. So anyway, yeah, adding some leaves and I think they look really cute and are just playing really well with the colors. I did have that purple cluster of flowers that is actually from a Chanel um, collection also, but I don't end up using it. I think the yellow kind of just threw things off. So just end up going with these few leaves and adding some wood veneer. And that is actually one of the awesome things about the wood veneer. You don't really have to add a lot to make it really pop and stand out and to have it work really well with your particular layout. So I really, really liked this little fishing kit here. I don't remember what it's called. I think I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called, but I'm going to put links down below for you so that you can check it out if you're interested in it. Okay, so now I'm adding a little bit of this linen thread from Stampin' Up. It's awesome. And it's great because I love the natural curl that it just comes with. I do have to kind of straighten it out a little bit with my fingernails, just kind of like pinch the two and run my fingernails along it because it was a little bit too curly for the little area that I was going with. But I really like the way that it looks anyway. And I just use a little bit of my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to tack it down into whatever spot I want it in. And then it just kind of stays. And that'll help it when I go to put it into the page protector so that it doesn't get caught on the page protector. So using my tweezers just to hold it in place while the glue sets. And then I'm going to run it behind the bobber and behind the little lake or a little water puddle and then behind the little fish at the bottom. So it looks like it's all connected. And I think it looks super cute. I am going to trim it off at the bottom there so there's no fishing line hanging out below. But I love the added texture that it brings and the natural colors that the wood and the string bring to this really bright layout, which plays really well on the wooden fence in the background of the photos. I'm also going to add a little twist of this twine or thread behind my circular piece up at the top to just give a little added texture and bring it up to the other cluster. Now I did trim my whole layout down by about 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides, so I'll have 1/8 of an inch reveal all the way around. And then I just used that Serenade ink pad from Catherine Pooler to ink up the edges of my white cardstock where I'm going to mount my entire layout. And that is going to kind of finish it off. While I finish these pieces up, don't forget to check out everyone playing along with 30 days of sketches. There's a playlist below for all of these. Mixed Media Mayhem and the Iron Crafter Challenge. And then I've also included MK's link down below so you can see what she is doing for Color Craze today as well. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. I'll be back again real soon with another one, so come back and see me then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.